Check. All right, all right. Give me one moment to fix a couple of details and we'll get started. Thank you for hanging out with me today on Thanksgiving 2024. It's a wonderful day today. It's pretty outside, at least in Houston. It's like kind of overcast, a little bit kind of cool. It's nice. We don't get days like this very often. It's always hot down here. So, let's see. This will be a fun podcast episode. We're going to talk about 2003. We're going to talk about Rancid, the Distillers, Brody. Let's see if I can type this in right. So I've always had a problem with this woman, mainly because I'm a fanboy. But look, dude, we're not here to talk about all that. She was the okay. Let's get this party started. Let me start recording this too. What's up, Kevin? How you doing, buddy? Randall. All right. So what's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review. This will be a fun episode. Okay, so back in the early 2000s, magazines. We had magazines. This is how we got all of our information. This is how we got gossip, punk rock news, music news, whatever, man. And so I did a couple of these where I read magazine articles to people, or to my audience rather, just articles that were relevant to me back then, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to revisit them now. So if you're into the Distillers, or if you're into punk rock, or if you just like journalism, this is kind of a cool way to get a, you know, an old bit of information, and it's, I don't know, it's like a time capsule. It's pretty fun. So if you don't mind, if you're watching this, hit that like button for me while I get this silliness started. Sorry for the wait again. I'm just about ready to start reading this to y'all. But what I do typically is I'll read these articles and I'll give my thoughts throughout. My commentary will run throughout the article. This one is about 2.5 pages, so hopefully it won't take us too long. But yeah, back in 2003, Alternative Press, February, the Distillers got the cover, which I thought was really cool back then because they were on Hellcat and Epitaph, so that was a label that I really cared about, and I always thought of them as a female Rancid, essentially. And, you know, Brody was a woman that everybody, all the men wanted her, all the girls wanted to be her, and, you know, she was on top of the world, and she really was going to make a go at it, and I think she did a pretty good job. I mean, she's still pretty infamous. Dude, look at this spread, bro. So crazy. I was just talking to another Kevin. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm talking to now. Kevin, is this the Kevin I'm talking to? The one that I got these magazines from Valhalla Cinema, or am I talking to Kevin from Static Friction? Because I was literally just talking to one of y'all a minute ago, and I can't remember last names very well. Now that I did this and embarrassed myself, I'll remember. So, okay, I want to give credit where credit is due. It says story by Tom Lanham. Lan. Oh, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Happy Thanksgiving, Kevin. So, and then the photos were by philmucci.com. PHILMUCCI.com. But Tom Lanham of Alternative Press did this story he probably did it in January, maybe December of the year before, but this is a February 2003. This is almost 22 years old. That's so crazy to me. So, with the giant image, boom. Cover story is Never Say Die. Having braved personal travails, a revolving door lineup, and constant inspection by the punk police. It's unfortunate, but true. The Distillers are looking forward with mixed emotions on the amount of ass that needs to be kicked in the near future. Well, that's, that's how you got to do it sometimes. Sheesh, this is a lot of words. Okay, so we got 2.5 pages with a couple of blurbs. Okay, that's not crazy. We should be able to rock and roll right through this. All right. The backwoods See, here's the thing: is I'm reading this for the first time. I should have read this before I got on here, because there's words that I'm not going to know how to say. Never claimed to be the most educated man out there. Revenuers? 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 The backwoods revenuers weren't there to rain on the Distillers' parade, but the evening appeared as if it were about to turn nasty. Hatfield's and McCoy's nasty. That's crazy. Real get your shooting iron ma nasty. What's up, Lewis? I wasn't on the live cast last night because I went to see Morgana Robinson, who's a UK comedian who's Brody Dell's sister. Whoa. That's wild. Interesting. That's pretty cool. So it looks like things are about to get real nasty. And I don't know what they're talking about with it, what was making it nasty. I guess we'll find out here in a moment. Excuse me, I was opening up a can of C2O coconut water. I wish we were sponsored by them, but they don't know who I am. I'm fairly close to getting Roger Murray on the, or Merritt, however you say his last name. I think it's Merritt, isn't it? Roger Merritt on the show. Thank you to Randy. He knows who I'm talking about. Appreciate you, bro. In the fish tank lobby of San Jose's HP Pavilion, it was all sweetness and light as a caravan, mom-driven station wagons, dumped out kid after concert-going kid, who all somehow seemed to gain a new adult sense of cool once those car doors closed. I remember those days, getting dropped off and being like, "Later, Mom." Turn around, you're like, "What the fuck are you looking at?" I got caught cussing once, and my mom was standing behind me. I didn't know. I was like 11. I was playing air hockey at the skating rink, and I whooped this kid's ass. And I went, "Yeah, bitch." And then my mom grabbed me by my shit and said, "Nope, come with me." Embarrassed me to death, bro. Sorry, Mom. Love you. What's up, Joe? Yeah, Roger episode would absolutely rule, because one of my first tattoos was a giant agnostic front tattoo before I knew they weren't a punk band and that they were a hardcore band. I just liked punk rock, so AF is one of my bands. I love those dudes. Okay. Dressed like their alternative... Wait. Dressed like their alterna rock idols of the moment, the show's headliners, no doubt Gwen Stefani and garbage Shirley Manson. Oh, wow. Girls and boys alike paraded past in pink hair, pink feather boas, just about pink everything. And whatever hadn't been dyed pink was tinted platinum blonde. These fashionable fans had every era of Stefani's and Manson's colorful careers down pat. That's a tour right there, dude. No doubt, Garbage and Distillers. I remember that. Dang, that was a long time ago, dude. That's awesome. But interlopers were stalking through the fluffy ranks. Big mohawk-haired renegades with patches, buttons, leather jackets, and stompy Doc Martens. The pinkies tittered when they spotted these punk rockers at a distance. But when they drew near, the pinkies shivered like chihuahuas with a Rottweiler in the room and nimbly stepped aside. That's unfortunate, man. Be nice to the kids, dude. Although, when I was like 20, I was probably a turd. As the arena lights dimmed, however, a large percentage of pinkies stayed put in the lobby while every last punk scampered inside to catch the opening act. The conversely cacophonous Distillers. I can't believe that I didn't mess that word up. First take. Nailed it. Now that I said that, I'm going to mess up a bunch of words, so my apologies. Led by the typhoon-lunged guitarist Brody Armstrong, the trio, who'd been personally invited to open the 28-date tour by No Doubt bassist Tony Kanal, became something of a divisive force that night. Told you, I couldn't even say divisive now. Rock and roll so rowdy, it was reserved for none but the very safety-pinned brave. Boy, man, this is hard to read, and these guys say like silly stuff. These magazine articles are kind of cringy. I like it though. It reminds me of 2003. I mean, if I was going to type an article out, I'd probably say stuff like this. You got to be bombastic with your words. It was the reading festival that line up that year. Wait, what? It was the reading festival that I can't understand what you're saying, Lewis. I'm sorry. No punctuation. Yeah, these are kind of chaotic. Like, oh my god, they like totally suck. Shrieked one pinky chick to another as they fled their primo seats. Let's go look at No Doubt's merchandise. But the rebels who remained were actually in for a treat. hyper-chorded yet easily accessible 4/4 anthems like City of Angels and The Young and Crazed Feeling, and a band who weren't nearly as frightening as they'd initially seemed. No fights broke out, and by the end of the brisk 30-minute set, Pinkies and Punks were pogoing together. The lines of suburban Oh, dude, it's on two different lines. It starts on one line, ends on the other line. Demarcation, excuse me. The lines of suburban demarcation momentarily blurred. Smiling down on the hodgepodge crowd, Armstrong wiped sweat from her brow, thanked No Doubt and Garbage for having her, and with hulking drummer Andy Outbreak and ferret slinky bassist known only as Ryan gracefully made their exit stage left. Feud averted, and one more notch in the Distillers' Knock 'em Dead gun belt. That's awesome. Dude, reading is tough, man. I don't know how people like reading out loud on this stuff is tough. I commend people. I listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I've always thought it'd be kind of fun to try that. Dude, this would be, I mean, practice makes perfect, right? But I just picked this up this morning and decided to do this. I decided to do it last night when that girl asked if I would. The pink world may soon be splashed as punky cherry red as Armstrong's trademark lipstick. With new metal slipping into the tar pit and a Hives, Vines, Strokes new rock revival in full bloom, major labels are suddenly expanding their definition of what constitutes good. What constitutes good rock and roll, Sony, Def Jam, DreamWorks, they've all come knocking at the Distillers' door over the past year on the heels of the group's cult-level sophomore success, Sing Sing Death House, released on the Epitaph-distributed Hellcat Records, a label run by Rancid rouser Tim Armstrong, who also just happens to be Brody's hubby. Not so much. Okay, let's see. Pinky sounds like a slur. Well, there's Aaron, what's up, dude? What's up, JJ? Pinky, there's like Pinky cinema. It's like Asian, like smut cinema. Don't ask how I know that. It kind of is a slur. They're talking shit about the No Doubt girls. Did the door open? Yes, says Miss Armstrong. Once to the Sire label for a distribution deal for album number 3, and only because of its legendary history with 70s punk icons like the Saints, the Ramones, and the Dead Boys. I have a lot of responsibilities, and it's horrifying, Brody sighs. I'm married, I own a house, I'm in a band with other people who I have to worry about, and I'm in a position where I have to be conscious and aware of what everyone else is doing, or what everyone else is going through, even our audience. But it's things like this that make you grow up, I guess. Flashback a few pre-concert hours, and Armstrong, Outbreak, and Ryan are lounging around their dressing room, slugging down Red Bulls and trying to make sense of all of it. Ryan stretches out on a couch. Excuse me. Outbreak grabs a chair, and Armstrong, in black jeans, pirate bandana, purple leopard print tank top, and corduroy house slippers, the kinds you get for Christmas, I have those on right now, merely hunkers down on the carpeted floor. These fucking Red Bulls, she barks, studying her third empty can. Man, I'm gonna grow balls from all the taurine I drink. Ugh. Dude, Red Bull makes me feel terrible. Yeah, dude, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the Punk Rock Review family, for sure. I got a new little image I'm going to put up in my videos where it talks about my label. It's just two little images that I made up. It's the logo, but it's pulled out, panoramic, and it says 31 Records, established 2022, and then it'll fade out and into another one where it just says Bullshit Detector, Empire Down. Let's see, Bullshit Detector, Empire Down, Before Dawn, Without Apology, Static Friction. Those are all bands I'm working with this next 6 months, and I'm really proud of this, man. So if anybody wants to check us out, my Bandcamp links are in the description. I appreciate every single person that checks out what I do, because I'm trying to help these bands out, and they're all friends of mine, so, Metaphorically, at least, she's already packing quite a pair. From her early street urchin days in far-off Melbourne, Australia, this is one lady who never took any gruff from the male-dominated music industry, from snooty top execs all the way down to the lowest nightclub bouncer, many of whom will recall her from her first imprint on their jaw. I don't know if she did that. You think she punched some dudes in the jaw? Maybe. She's probably a tough chick. And she doesn't need her old man to back her up. Well, probably not. She's just, Ungrateful Colonials Day. That's funny. Anyone even halfway hip to the Distillers is probably familiar with Armstrong's hard luck Horatio Alger fable by now. How she started out down the road to ruin in her early teens, cutting school to smoke pot, then racing headlong into booze, cocaine, and heroin addiction. A few ODs and one botched attempt later, she wound up practically living on the Melbourne streets. Misadventures she duly documents on Sing Sing. Songs like Desperate, Young Girl, I Am a Revenant, and A Heart on the Sleeve, The Young Crazed Feeling. Music quite literally saved her life. I feel that, like 100%. And I didn't make the music that saved my life. I just heard it. And it spoke to me, and it got me out of a rut. Honestly, part of it was the Distillers stuff, man. This band really helped me out a lot back in the day. I love this group. First, okay, so I said music quite literally saved her life. First via her own proto-punk outfit, Sourpuss. Then through a shared stage run-in with Rancid on her 17th birthday, where she instantly fell in love with strong, silent frontman Tim Armstrong. Eventually, she would follow her man to Los Angeles, where the couple wed in December of 97, and where she soldered together the Distillers. Bolt by Drug-Free Bolt. Oh, got it. Members would come and go. The original rhythm section left to join Exene Cervenka's original centers, and the recent departure of co-guitarist Rose Casper pared the quartet down to a power trio. But it was the iron will of Armstrong that kept this group on position-pumping track. I think I'm reading okay. This story's always been kind of polarizing. I tend to not have nothing to say about it because I wasn't there, and it didn't seem like an habitual thing, so excuse me. But people will say what they want to say, people will feel how they want to feel. Will, ambition, determination, none of these terms really seem to fit, argues Armstrong. Her huge green eyes flickering behind eyeshadow so bruise-hued and spooky she resembles a Dawn of the Dead cadaver. The only thing that drives me is fear, she reveals. It's like that Samuel Beckett line, I can't go on, I'll go on. I am driven by fear of, not necessarily success, but of not being good enough. And that all comes from fucking school and childhood shit. Not assimilating with the other kids because you come from this weird family, having your mom dress you until you're 12. Yo, I can what's up, Angel? I can relate to that, man. When I was a kid, I got in trouble, and my mom, literally, I came home from school one day, and I was like 14 or 15, all my clothes were gone. All of them, dude. All of it. My jeans, my shirts, everything. In my closet was 2 pair of brown dress pants and 2 short sleeve white button downs, a pair of black dress shoes, and a bunch of white socks. I had to wear that to school every day for like an entire semester. I was like spray painting my shirts, drawing on them. I didn't know what else to do. And I was getting picked on and beat up. And I was fighting all the time. And I was like, you wonder why I can't stay out of trouble? First off, I'm a troubled kid. But second, you put me in this clown suit and like, I'm fighting every day. It just made it worse. And it really fucked me up in my head. And this is why I just refuse to like, things like that, youthful, what do you call it, man? Like, being just held down and told what to do all the time. To a degree, you have to be. You're a kid, right? But like, good grief, man. Let people have some, idea of who they are. Let them express who they are. My kids can do kind of what they want until they're getting in trouble. If they're getting in trouble, we'll talk about it. But like, dude, I didn't even get a chance to not get in trouble. I had really bad ADHD. I couldn't settle down. It wasn't like I was fighting and selling drugs. I was talking and just cutting up and like couldn't focus. I had like really bad focus issues, which was what started all my trouble. And then when I got to being used to being in trouble, I just kind of did what I wanted. It was crazy. See, a Git, Brody's music makes more sense after having seen her sister stand up. I don't know what a Git is, but her music, I can relate to it to a fairly significant degree, I think. I was in that same position, man. And I left home at 17, which sounds like it's like, oh, I know people who left home at 15. Well, it's no easier at 17. It's the same thing. You don't have enough money to get anything. You're not old enough to get an apartment. You're living outside. You're living on your friend's couch. You got a backpack. That's it. and you meet a girl who's no good, but you can live with her for a little while, so you do. And like, I mean, it's just, I've made lifelong friends doing all that though. So like, there is a silver lining. Shout out to my boy Steve-O. If you're watching this, bro, I love you, dude. Hope you're doing okay. I met that guy when I was with that girl that I'm talking about. So, anyways, she sighs. She pulls her knees to her chest as she huddles against the dressing room wall. I mean it. It was traumatizing, and the other kids hated me. The upshot? You have to learn that you're an individual from a very young age, and you don't go with the pack. You learn by yourself, and when you're older, you finally find out other fucking degenerates. Good grief, I can't read that one. Sorry. And when you're older, you finally find other fucking degenerates that went through the same thing. And you're a lot smarter and more aware of the world around you because you've had to fight on your own. I feel that too, man. I was able to do things at a young age that most people my age weren't able to do. If you talk to a bunch of my friends that have known me for a long time, I don't know what they'll say about me. I think they'll say that I'm a little too much sometimes. But I think they'll all tell you, like, yeah, he works hard. And he's nice. Like, he's kind and he works hard. I think that's two things that I am very confident all of my friends would say. That I'm a kind person and that I work hard. And I'm proud of that. They might not say I'm smart. They might not say that. I mean, some of them might. I'm pretty intelligent, but like, that would be very quick. He's really nice and he works hard. I'm pretty sure that people would say that. I hope so. I'm pretty confident. Image-wise, Armstrong has found not only herself, but perfect mirrors in her black-attired bandmates. Oh, okay. Perfect mirrors. Got it. Image-wise, Armstrong has found not only herself, but perfect mirrors in her black-attired bandmates. Her signature shoulder tattoo, a bat-winged, delicately bow-topped girl skull that reads "fuck off." Excuse me. It's a Sailor Jerry tattoo, I think, with a little additional "fuck off" on it. Is evenly matched by the twin tarantulas on Outbreak's forearms and the sinister sleeve neck ink covering Ryan. Excuse me. But therein lies the problem, growls Armstrong, 23 years old, as she watches another zoom speeding car commercial on the backstage television. From advertising to the pornography industry to the new spate of men's magazines like FHM, Maximum, and Loaded, where the only way a woman can get her art covered is by uncovering as much flesh as possible. Oof. We live in a shallow, surface-obsessed society, she believes, where image is no longer merely byproduct. Let me retry that one. We live in a shallow, surface-obsessed society, she believes, where image is no longer merely a byproduct of the art itself, it's everything. Why do you think the plastic surgery business in this country is making such an insane amount of money? Armstrong asks rhetorically. Because that's what the world revolves around right now. All this surface shit. That's never going to change, unfortunately. I think that's going to be the same forever and ever and ever. Amen. Hopefully not, but, Okay. The Distillers have turned down photo shoots that promise to play up their leaders' good looks for that very reason. I mean, I know how to play my guitar, Armstrong is compelled to point out, but at the same time, I have a lot of young girls coming up to me after shows and telling me how beautiful I am, instead of, wow, you play the guitar really great. People don't seem to realize that I play the guitar, and I play my ass off, and no one ever says a goddamn thing about it. It's fascinating to me. It's baffling. How does she respond to those aforementioned fans? I tell them, play the fucking guitar, girls. Play the drums. Do something. And some of them say, well, we're trying to start a band. And I'm like, well, keep doing it then. You know what I'm saying? That's got to be aggravating. But, would you rather be acknowledged for something than nothing? I don't know. I don't really know how to answer that. Society's been like that since the beginning. 100%. It's never going to change. If you're pretty, you've got something that nobody else can buy. And that's why unattractive people get, don't like it. And I'm not pretty, so. The other night, the singer relates, she and Shirley Manson were sitting around, powwowing over feminist politics. And we were talking about women in music and the reason why women find it so hard to be equals up at the top. And why there aren't really that many women up there at all, says Armstrong, a follower of both the sensible Susan Faludi and the more outspoken Camille Paglia. I don't know if I said those right. And we figured out that back in the caveman days, instinctually for women, it was all about fighting for that one alpha male. So basically, women are still running on that same instinct. But when they get to the top professionally, there's no male there. So once women can overcome that and realize that they're no longer fighting for anything, then we can all live more harmoniously. And as you've noticed, the only women on our genre. Oh, and as you've noticed, the only women in our genre, call it rock, for who's really blowing anybody away right now is Gwen Stefani. Out of all of our contemporaries, she's the only one who's still ruling MTV. There's no Courtney, no L7, or Babes in Toyland, and even Shirley's having a hard time getting on the radio. All of our peers are gone. And sex and violence are the only things selling nowadays. People just don't care anymore. I mean, that's also probably pretty... Both feminist writers. I figured as much. I just don't know them, so I didn't know how to pronounce the names. My apologies. Maybe I should read some of it. Armstrong pauses to apologize for sounding harsh, but she was brought up in a politically aware family, she says, and the only station her and Tim's home TV sets are tuned into is CNN. That's weird. And like hip hop, punk rock is one of the only modern music genres with an opinion, a strong political voice. Now with Roe v. Wade ruling potentially coming under British regime fire, Armstrong snaps. Women are definitely back on the front lines again. And yeah, cool, overturn that decision. Let's all overpopulate and have fucking crack babies and people who can't afford to raise the families they've created. I've seen that a lot. I don't know how to approach that because I don't want to be like shitty to anybody, but like I've seen a lot of people that simply didn't have the means to take care of a child, create one, and then just have it. And I'm like, oh my goodness. But I mean, whatever. I don't even know if I'm reading it correctly. I might be thinking the wrong thing. They might be meaning something different. But yeah, it's a very tough conversation. Hole was massive in 2003. Were they really? In 2003? Hold on. 2000. I thought they were more like a 90s band. Let's see what I can find out about their discography real quick. Yeah, dude, their last... No, man, they didn't have an album from 98 to 2010. What are you talking about? Hole wasn't massive in 2003. Joe, you and Lewis talk about that to yourselves. I'm not going to get in that conversation because I don't care. She tugs off her scarf, tosses it on the floor, and shakes down her black shoulder-length mane. We need to have rock and roll revolution. I'm telling you, because something's got to change. We're on our way to that. We're on our way to the fucking end. That's unfortunately true. Where do the Distillers fit in? 2 full minutes of silence elapses before Armstrong murmurs a half-hearted, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. Then she excuses herself to go to the ladies' room. Dang those fucking Red Bulls. Outbreak takes the opportunity to outline his theory that meathead males are merely being exploited by tits and ass marketing, and that's the selling of fashion. And that's the selling of fashion has superseded the making of respectable rock records. Oh, these dumb idiots are being sold a bunch of half-naked women. I mean, the general public kind of just oaf around us, all day. But I mean, it is what it is. Already, he says, bigwigs at their new imprint have asked the Distillers the same questions 50 times in a row for months. Do you want to do this? And we say no. A couple weeks later, hey, you want to do this? They're like, no. Then he adds, there's the MRR set, the maximum rock and roll kids who never stop and think before they speak. He's talking about the punk purists who've accused the band of selling out because they found airplay on K-Rock, inked to a major label, and made 2 quality videos, City of Angels and The Uncrazed Feeling, in which Armstrong cleverly plugs her husband's side project by sporting a transplant t-shirt. And the trick today is getting people to pay attention to you for longer than 20 seconds. Outbreak sneers. We could be out of style by the time this fucking story even runs. Oh, that's accurate. Yeah, I mean, people's attention spans have never been that great, especially now. But this stuff still rings true. How crazy is that? That almost 22 years after this magazine came out, all of the exact same problems are still what we're dealing with. That's crazy, man. And I like to read these articles because it tells you that. You get to understand it, like, you know. I guess I was the only guy that listened to Hole 2003. I mean, yeah, it seems that way, Aaron. I've never been a fan of that band, but yeah, they were a 90s band. I could barely remember 2003, though, so what am I talking about? To corroborate this, Ryan lets out a big rafter-rattling belch. His key comment for the afternoon. Hey, I wonder if my label's ever going to ask me to show my tits, chuckles Armstrong, returning to her roost. They could do it insidiously, too. They could do it insidiously, too. Like, we figured it would be a good idea, Brody Armstrong, if you took your clothes off. You'll sell a lot more records that way. But I think they know that we're a lot smarter than that. That's the one thing we have going for us. People always underestimate punk rock bands. And our punk ethics are probably what's going to save our ass. Preach, dude. Church. I kind of wish Candace and Autumn were here. They could learn a bit. No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't learn anything. They don't stop talking shit and they don't listen. I love those dudes. Autumn's awesome. Candace is cool. But like they don't listen. It's all about fucking, you know, their feelings and not anybody else's. And that's how we get into these situations, you know? Yeah, K-Rock is K-R-O-Q, excuse me, K-Rock is a California radio station. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier. I thought that was kind of common knowledge. Maybe not. Whatever the outcome of this Hellcat... whatever the outcome of this Hellcat, a great deal of the disc is already... whatever the outcome of this Hellcat Sire hybrid, they signed to Sire for distribution through Hellcat. That's crazy. I need to go back and look at their CDs. I don't think I have Coral Fang. I didn't like that record very much. I liked their first two. Whatever, though. Whatever the outcome of this Hellcat Sire hybrid, a great deal of disc 3 is already written. New song titles include Heartbeat and Cincinnati, because that's one of my favorite cities in America, Armstrong explains. Ryan and Outbreak chime in on the theme song to the old television show WKRP in Cincinnati, and their leader is Flummoxed. She's asking them what they're singing. They're singing a theme song to that to that TV show. But Armstrong isn't getting carried away. So far, she's been very frugal with her royalties, investing in 3 new guitars and just stage clothes, things my biker chick girlfriend Agatha makes for me. I mean, a girl's got to have good stage clothing. She always seemed like she was like dressed kind of sexy, but not like over the top. Like, I don't know. She never had her chest hanging out or, you know, tiny booty shorts or something like that I can remember. So good for her, man. Hope she sticks to it. Funny thing was when Brody tried sounding like the popular indie bands with her Spinneret people were like, we want Distillers back. Oh, yeah, dude. Spinneret was like, it was okay. It was a couple good songs, but I mean, did you ever hear Sourpuss? It wasn't like the Distillers, so she was only going to get big with Tim behind her, I think. But what's that? Whatever, man. Good for her. I mean, they wrote a bunch of beautiful music together. I think she wrote most of it, but, you know, I think he produced it, so. I used to be like them not long ago, so I have hope for them, I guess. You know, I'm very old and cynical at this point. I don't think that they're going to listen, but I hope they do. I like them both a lot. Truth be told, Armstrong sighs. Right now, she just wants to get home to L.A. Fortunately, one of the last stops on the no doubt garbage juggernaut. And how's the tour been going? Have the Distillers been converting countless pinkies to punks at every stop? Could be, Armstrong smiles. Could very well be. And besides, she concludes, anything is better than the dreaded music elite, those factions in punk rock that won't let anyone out of the gate. And it's like you're in the jailhouse. You're not allowed to go out there and see what the rest of the world is like, she says. Oh, yeah, punk rock dudes do that. Be like, you can't go out there and play a show with garbage or no doubt. You got to play only with fucking whatever Riot Girl shit was out in 2002. The more they do that to us, okay, oh, wait, hold on. And it's like you're in this jailhouse. You're not allowed to go out there and see what the rest of the world is like, she says. And the more they do that to us, the more it makes me want to sell more and more records. Because the Distillers have a good message, you know? A message that actually fights against everything bad that we've been talking about today. Or, as Brody succinctly put it, good grief, puts it in the Sing Sing Death House liner notes, instead of using violence as a means to deal with our feelings of anger, alienation, and abuse, we play punk rock and roll. And if we didn't, we ain't got no soul. Facts. I love that song. It's a manifesto that both Pinky and Punk can easily understand. Bro, honestly, that's a pretty good little article, dude. I've been listening to Survival Guide, Agent M Band, former Tsunami Bomb singer. Oh, dude, Tsunami Bomb was a good band, too. What was it called? Survival Guide? I'll check that out. Man, that was a fun time. I got to get going over to my sister's house for Thanksgiving dinner, but yeah, dude, I just wanted to get on here and hang out and tell everybody thank you. Also, excuse me, around 9 o'clock tonight, so it's 1:20 where I'm at right now. So around 9 o'clock, I'm going to do a live stream. It is going to be no donations accepted, just hanging out, listening to some music. I'll take requests. I won't take donos. I don't want donos. I just want to hang out with you guys, and I'll let each person do a request. And once we do all those, if we got time, I'll do another round. So everybody, get ready to give me a pick for tonight. I'll have a couple songs picked, and we'll just be thankful for each other. That's what this is all about. Look, the rest of the world can think what they want. The rest of the country can think what they want. I am personally thankful for all of you, and I want to show you all that. I want to come on here. I want to spend some time on here, and I want no thought of a donation. I want to be able to hang out and just chill. So I hope that sounds fun. I think it sounds like a good time. But yeah, dude, that article, it seems like they were already kind of almost jaded before they got there. You know what I'm saying? Which, how can you blame them? Brody was probably, let's see. Well, I mean, it needs to be like punk. I'm not going to play metal. I don't like metal. God damn it. I'll play some metal for you, JJ, if that's what you're talking about. I hate metal, dude. It's just not fun for me. What an asshole. Yeah, I whatever. It's not for me. It's for y'all. I'll play whatever you want. I'm such a turd. I'm such a grumpy old curmudgeon dude. Fucking metal. Damn kids. That's funny, bro. Oh, dude, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, it don't matter whatever it is, dude. That's so stupid. But yeah, all right, man. I'm gonna get out of here and go get some dinner or lunch or whatever the heck you want to call it. Golly, dude, I need to go wash my face again. I got sleep in my eyes still. I woke up hours and hours and hours ago. It's whatever you want to play, dude. It's not even for me, bro. It's for the audience, man. I don't care what y'all pick. That's such a stupid thing for me to respond with. Look at that. I'm not playing metal. Celtic Frost is not fun, but I'll listen to it. Look, I will say this. I don't want to play a bunch of 7-minute songs. That would bother me. But reasonable, 5 minutes or less, whatever. Okay. Yeah. Oh, shit. That's cool. Hey, I'm looking to get a Zoom H6 audio recorder. I'm pretty excited about that. All right, I got to get out of here, man. Okay. I will see y'all this evening. Have a good day, everybody, wherever you're at in the world. Enjoy your family, enjoy your time, enjoy some food if you get the chance to, you know what I'm saying? Some people don't get to enjoy food all the time, so, yeah. If you need something from me, holler at me. All my stuff's in the description. Check out my Bandcamp. Check out